Hi everyone, I'm Angie Bailey,
And I'm Aurora Newton.
and today we want to follow up on the storms.
This is Ask the A-Team, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
She's so excited. Like, I was fired up at our last storm session. She's so excited to talk about this. She forgot to say it's the A-Team. Go for it, girl. Let's follow up.
So, what do you do when the storms don't do what you command them to do? What do you do when somebody you pray for and proclaim healing over and even believe with all of your heart does not get healed? What do you do when you pray for someone? We've done this, haven't we?
Yes.
To rise from the dead and they don't do it.
Yeah. Wow, there's so much, and I think we've even touched on some of this before that we can talk about. But we did talk a couple minutes before this segment, and I told Ange, so I'm just going to share what's been going on. We love to be real, and I'm real. So lately, I have been having some manifestations in my chest, and I know that when that happens, the enemy taunts me about the diagnosis I had 4 years ago. And I had 4 visions of miraculous healing, and my family has stood on that. That is, I am healed, and that is what God's promise was to our family.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I have these manifestations and these burnings and these things happening. And so I've been fasting this week, and there's some things that I just really felt like I need a breakthrough on. Wasn't planning on, other types of breakthroughs or being as fired up as I've been. But I was so mad because I woke up in the middle of the night and there was this burning and then this itching and this burning and this itching, and I'm like, well, itching means healing, and burning, and I got so caught up on looking at what was going on in my body, I forgot about all the times that had been prayed and proclaimed and the promises that I had, that I started focusing back on that, and what I believe really calling that back. And that physical manifestation and that fear started to rise. All that started to come back. And so I started crying out to God, going, no, I know your promises. I know what you have said to me. I know what you have shown me. What do I need to do? And he spoke to me very clearly, and this is scriptural. He said, this kind only comes out with prayer and fasting. And it was such an aha moment of, wow, cancer is rampant in our nation. And I don't know that we as a church are fasting and praying to eradicate that demon.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really good. But it reminded me of, we called out, we proclaimed, and we believed for that healing.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's still times that the enemy tries to taunt and bring that back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's even many believers in the church that don't even believe that those kind of things are meant for today. That healing,
the gifts,
that the gifts of healing and
That's
the
true.
authority that we have are not for today. And I stand on that is not true. That Jesus said that we would do greater things than he even did.
Yes. Boy, my life would be a lie if I didn't believe that, because there's so many miraculous things. I mean, I could go on and on. You could go on and on. We would not be alive sitting here today if it had not been for miracles in our life.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
A couple times over. Sure. I'm not sure which one would have got me first, actually. I mean, just to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've both prayed for people to be resurrected, and that hasn't happened. And there's a lot of yet that there exactly. There's a lot of theological thoughts on that. I particularly at one time praying over someone to resurrect, clearly heard the Lord say that he will not violate someone's will even unto death, and that their will was to go to heaven. So there was no resurrection that was going to happen until the coming of the Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do when you're in that situation? So many people, and this is hard, and this is not condemnation.
No,
for anyone.
Never condemnation for us.
Will, kind of, it's hard to get back on that horse.
Yeah, or that wasn't God's will. I guess God just didn't want that to happen, or that's not who he is.
It is who he is, and it's always his will to heal.
Yeah.
Always. I don't know how he's going to do that, but we want to encourage you to don't stop commanding the storms.
Don't stop praying for the sick.
and praying for the dead to be resurrected. Don't stop. You never know when your breakthrough moment is going. And then we were talking about Daniel, and the scripture that came to me was in Daniel 10. When Daniel, come on, people. We're not talking about, we're talking about Daniel, one of the major prophets in the Old Testament. He is like fasting and he is praying and he is like already seeing these hugely miraculous things happen in his nation and things that he's going after God for. And he has, the angel comes to him and says, I've been caught up for the prince and the power of Persia, the kingdom of Persia. And like he
was
there's
in a
a
battle and he couldn't
spiritual
get there.
battle
Yeah.
going on. And so listen, your angels have already been sent.
Yes.
They have been dispatched. There are things that may be getting them caught up, but you don't stop going after them because you don't know the second that they're going to come there.
That's
that
right.
They're going to be there and they're going to say, oh, wait a minute. We've been over here fighting this thing that's been going on, and but here we are now. Yep. And how much does God have for you to do, and you've seen, and how much he loves you, and how much,
Yeah, he wants for these things. And when we waver, our faith battle is really lost.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not talking about like, okay, being up in the middle of the night, starting to, have that little bit of fear kick in, and then no, I'm going back to what we've talked about before, the love of Jesus, the gospel, back to the roots, because Jesus died so that we could live and live life abundantly, so that we could live and be healed, so that we could live and have salvation. Yeah. So going back to that, we're not talking about wavering and then, catching yourself, really have a repentant heart and going back to that. Mm-hmm. We're talking about when you start focusing on that and wavering on that, because when you go into that fear is great faith, just in the wrong power. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to encourage you, if you have never stretched your faith to pray for healing, to command the storms, to pray for the dead, to pray for supernatural, miraculous things to happen, do so. If you've done it before and it hasn't happened and you've kind of shied away from that because you just don't understand, go for it again. Your breakthrough is on the other side.
Yes. Yeah. Keep pressing in, because the 1,001 time that you pray may be your breakthrough moment.
And you don't want to miss that.
No.
The world can't. Listen, our world needs that.
Yeah. Our world needs you. Mm-hmm. That's why you're here. That's why we're here. Our world needs each one of us.
Because he wants to use us.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for joining us.
If this has helped you in any way or can help someone please like or share, and don't forget to follow us.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.